Hello and welcome to another video. Today I made a family tree for Martha Washington, wife of George Washington, First Lady of the United States from 1789 to 1797. We'll be starting. This is Martha Washington's whole family tree. This is her right over here, Martha Dandridge. Dandridge was her maiden name. She was born June 2nd, 1731 in Chestnut Grove, Virginia, and died April 22nd, 1802 in Mount Vernon, Virginia, at the age of 70. Her parents were Francis Orlando Jones and John Dandridge II. John was born July 14th, 1700 in London, United Kingdom, and died August 31st, 1756 in Fredericksburg, Virginia, at the age of 56. Francis was born April 10th, 1710 in Virginia and died July 9th, 1785 in New Kent County, Virginia, at the age of 75. Martha's paternal grandparents were John Dandridge and Bridget Dugdale. John was born April 29th, 1655 in Oxford, England, and died February 9th, 1731, and also in Oxford, England, at the age of 75. Bridget was born June 23rd, 1651 in Lichfield, England, died 1731 in London, England, at the age of 79 or 80. Martha's maternal grandparents were Orlando Jones and Martha Macon. Orlando was born December 31st, 1681 in Williamsburg, Virginia, and died June 12th, 1719 in York, Virginia, at the age of 37. Martha was born in 1687 in New Kent, Virginia, and died May 4th, 1716 in Williamsburg, Virginia, at the age of 28 or 29. As you might have noticed, John Dandridge's mother gave birth to him when she was 49, and that's a very old age to give birth. But that's not even the oldest age because John also had some younger siblings, in which Bridget gave birth when she was 60. So that's both traumatizing and cool. So Martha had a few younger siblings, John Dandridge III, William Dandridge, Bartholomew Dandridge, and Marie Dandridge, Francis Dandridge, Elizabeth Dandridge, and Mary Dandridge. John was born February 23rd, 1732 in New Kent, Virginia, and died July 23rd, 1749 in New Kent, Virginia, at the age of 17. William was born March 2nd, 1734 in New Kent, Virginia, and died January 22nd, 1776, somewhere in Virginia, at the age of 41. Bartholomew was born December 25th, 1737 in Virginia, and died April 18th, 1785 in New Kent, Virginia, at the age of 47. Anne was born March 30th, 1739 in New Kent, Virginia, and died December 17th, 1776 in New Kent, Virginia, at the age of 38. Francis was born November 2nd, 1744 in New Kent, Virginia, and died February 10th, 1757, also in New Kent, Virginia, at the age of 12. Elizabeth was born May 25th, 1749 in New Kent, Virginia, and died November 27th, 1799 in James City, Virginia, at the age of 50. Mary, the youngest sibling, was actually uh, Martha had uh, Martha had a couple of children before her youngest sister Mary was even born. Uh, Her mother Frances gave birth to her when she was 45. She was born April 4th, 1756 in New Kent, Virginia, and died September 25th, 1763, also in New Kent, Virginia, at the age of 7. So Mary Frances uh, and John did not live to adulthood. Fun fact: John was exactly 1 day younger than Martha's second husband, George Washington. John was born February 23rd, 1732. Washington was born February 22nd, 1732. So, and I never knew that. So before she married George Washington, she married Daniel Parke Custis. He was 20 years older than her, and he was about Martha's mother's age, just a little younger. He was born October 15th, 1711 in York County, Virginia, and died July 8th, 1757 in New Kent, Virginia, at the age of 45. Together they had four children: Daniel Parke Custis, Francis Parke Custis, John Parke Custis, and Martha Parke Custis. Daniel was born November 19th, 1751 in New Kent, Virginia, and died February 19th, 1754 in York, Virginia at the age of 2. Francis was born April 12th, 1753 in New Kent, Virginia, and died April 1st, 1757 in New Kent, Virginia at the age of 3. John was born November 27th, 1754 in New Kent, Virginia, and died November 5th, 1781, also in New Kent, Virginia, at the age of 26. Martha was born in 1756 in New Kent, Virginia, and died June 19th, 1773 in Mount Vernon, Virginia, at the age of 16 or 17. She was most likely 17. Martha later married George Washington. Like I mentioned earlier, was born February 22nd, 1732 in Westmoreland County, Virginia, and died December 14th, 1799 in Mount Vernon, Virginia at the age of 67. John was the only child of Martha to be married. He married Eleanor Calvert when she was 16 and he was 18. They had a they She had a miscarriage in 1774. 1774? No, it was 1772 when they were married, and then she had a miscarriage when she was only 16 years old. So why give birth? Why have the act of love when she's not even age of consent? But maybe I think it was age of consent at the time, but when you're too young, the pregnancy doesn't work. It doesn't always work. They had some more children: Elizabeth, Martha, Eleanor. Then Eleanor had a double miscarriage. She gave birth to twins that were stillborn. And then finally there was George Washington Parke Custis. Elizabeth was born August 21st, 1776 in Prince George's County, Maryland, and died December 31st, 1831 in Richmond, Virginia at the age of 55. She married Thomas Law and had a daughter named Elizabeth. Martha was born December 31st, 1777 in Mount Vernon, Virginia, and died July 13th, 1854 in Washington, D.C. at the age of 76. She married Thomas Peter and had four children together: Martha, Columbia, John, and George. Eleanor was born March 21st, 1779 in Fairfax County, Virginia, died July 15th, 1852 in Clark, Virginia at the age of 73. She married Lawrence Lewis and had three children together: Frances, Martha, and Lawrence. And then finally, there was George Washington Parke Custis. He was born April 30th, 1781, Prince George's County, Maryland, and died October 10th, 1857, in Arlington, Virginia, at the age of 76. He was not married. He wasn't married and did not have children when when his grandmother was still alive. So when Martha married George in 1759, they could not have children together because Martha didn't want any children. Maybe she did want more children, but even if she wanted more children, she could not have them with George because George was sterile and could not produce whatever it's called. So. And also he got smallpox when he contracted smallpox when he was very young, and that quite possibly might have made him sterile, but he just generally couldn't uh, push it out of himself. So that's the whole family tree of Martha Washington. Let me know in the comments whose family tree you'd like to see in the future. I will definitely do more First Lady family trees. And so I'd love to read your comments of whose family tree you'd like to see in the future. I already got some suggestions, and I will make sure to do them. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.